There we go. All right. What's up, Jeremy? What's up, Fancy? Posted and get the thumbnail. There we go. Hey. And anyone on Twitch got all the good stuff. Emotes, everything. Very cool. Up crazy. All right. One last thing to post. One of these days I'm gonna get to a countdown. But yeah, if anyone wants to hop on Twitch, has it. Emotes. Nothing too crazy, but people can gift subs as well. Very excited. Astra. Yeah, so been messing with some ideas. If I lose internet, let me know. Paused. I did the lighting on this space. It's not very easy to see during the day, but got it all lit up. That looks good. Another thing. Pretty much done. I don't think I'm going to do anything too crazy. Go to the garden. But got the lighting done. I think it looks pretty sweet. Liking that. I just have to work on the roof of this, but otherwise the inside, I think, all done, which is all clean. And I've had some ideas about what I want to do with this spaces. I was kind of stuck, but brain had ideas over the weekend. And I also, nobody told me, but I was supposed to stream yesterday and I thought it was Monday. It was not Monday, it was Tuesday. And my wife apparently was questioning it and I'm like, why didn't you tell me? For some reason I thought it was Monday. I'm gonna have to maybe try to stream Saturday. 'Cause I'm annoyed. Miss a whole day for no reason. I wanted to play last night as well because I was having ideas about the build. I'm like even more annoyed because I was like motivated to get stuff done. Then I was looking at my phone, I was like, wait a second, why did the garbage go out a day early? And I'm like, it didn't go out a day early, I just missed an entire day of the week. What a goober, right? So we're just gonna work extra hard to catch up too. The music's back. All the good stuff's here. makes you feel better. I was thinking it was Thursday. It is a long, really long weekend too. I went to a Ducks game. Haven't been to a Ducks game since COVID, so that was fun, even though we almost lost to Idaho. It's embarrassing. When you pay as much money as Phil Knight is in NIL money, I don't know how you almost lose the first game of the season to Idaho. You looked like trash. And I was sitting next to frickin' Idaho fans that were like getting a little too excited. They were ready for the upset. One of my best friends is a huge Ohio State fan. I'm like, I'm not about to, the first year we make it, we join the Big Ten, lose to Idaho, and ruin our whole season before we even get to play Ohio State. I would have been quite upset. Alright. I was feeling like this side, these, the stairs, since they're angled, you can't really, like, build a handrail or anything. So I was like, I want to, like, enclose this, but I was like, it also needs more ash cement, as all builds do, right? So I was like, oh, this works perfect. Just had this idea yesterday. And then I literally spent the whole weekend, other than when I was at the Duck game, clearing out everything. This entire center area is completely cleared out of all non-essential pieces. Maybe there's a couple here and there, but I had all the chests. Everything's moved over now. Slowly kind of coming up with how I want the inside of this to like work, the secret tunnels and stuff around. That's just an inner wall that goes around the actual sandcastle. Yeah, I did all of this. Moved everything over, got some form of organization so I can work in this area till this whole thing's done and we can move everything back into the base. There's a lot of moving and destroying. There were so many floors and stuff. It was crazy. And then really didn't really do anything on the inside here. I think I did all of this on stream. And then was just trying to figure out how to add more detail to the outside here. A couple random things, and I've been moving the doors around. Moved this to make it maybe a little bit more of a door shape. It's a little taller, whereas like this was kind of squatty and short. Less of a, I didn't like that as an entrance very much. Cleaned up with some little stuff. I think I'm going to try to build a bridge. I didn't really give myself a good entry point here. After I kind of realized after the fact, I was like, oh, how do I get to the entrance if this is like, I can always go through here because there's going to be a set of stairs that will get you up somehow. That's where this is going to be. So some way, shape, or form, we will make stairs. Jeez. FPS drops are real. So I don't know, something like that, or it'll come out to here, and it just depends on how it fits the inside. I don't want to clog it up too much with some weird stairs. Pretty sure these ones are going to end up here, but I don't know where I want the lower ones to go, so I come up into this. Sort of want them to be small and secretive, so I don't know, maybe they come halfway up or something. But I was like, there's literally no way other than that to get to these stairs unless I came all the way up here and around, or went over here and up, which I was like, that's a waste. I also was messing with some off-grid stuff, since all of this is on an angle. I placed some weed stem pallets, and was messing with like arches and stuff. Not totally sure yet, but it lined up pretty well. I was happy with the alignment. So that at least gives me something to play off of as well. This is where I'd really love to be able to like build totally off grid here. But unfortunately not how it works. Yeah, I was gonna destroy this, but I didn't build that. And then I gotta use these stairs, I think. I'm gonna be a little weird because of my life choices. Deciding to build this the height. Oh, stinker. Where the heck did that go? Yeah, silly life choices in the beginning of this entire build when I was like, I'm just going to leave the sand because I kind of like it showing through, because I was like, I think originally I was going to incorporate these more as like this instead, but it didn't really work out that way, and instead of lifting it all, I'm here now. So they're just like parts of the castle that maybe fell and broke or something. That's how we're thinking of this. But I do like how... Are these rotating now? What? Why are these all rotating? They didn't do another patch. I haven't had these rotating before. That's so weird. At least these are easy to do with. But now there's a little bit more like rhyme and reason to some of this, which I think works. Question is, do we put that over one? And I think so. Yeah. That all works, whatever. So we got some work to do here. What I'm thinking tonight. Gotta catch back up since we missed the stream. I also spent a ton of time collecting materials and stuff. Ooh. Guess we gotta help him get 2K, everybody. Tell your friends to sub. Let's go, goofball. I like the way you think. Goofy goober friend. Yeah, we're at like 1750 or something like that now. Make sure to like the video as well. Very helpful. 1770. Bad. We're getting there. Once we add some other games, a little bit more growth here. Grounded's a little slow right now, but just having fun, you know. That's what it's all about. Game right now. And a goofball. Aren't we all, though? All. What? No! Damn it. Oh, that's so annoying. Ay, ay, ay. Ruined it. This one I block off. Lovely. Fortunate. This is gonna... Dang it. Huh. It's one half block. It's so weird. Dang it. F-22 Raptor. Ah. That name sounds very familiar. This is all even though. How is it half block? Crazy. I don't know. It's right. It's a little crazy apparently. That's where it gets. Second. Craziness are we trying tonight? All the craziness. We're hopefully getting a lot done. I did these little details. Don't even need. Added in some more ash cement here to make these a little bit nicer. Just messing with things. Cleared out the whole inside, so everything's ready to build now. And I have to figure out this a little bit more tonight, how this like library building space is even gonna work. And then how the secret tunnels go. That go through this little thing. How they like reconnect back into the base now. That's gonna be interesting. And then however the heck we're gonna build the top of this. That part's got me bamboozled. But we are building essentially this back tower has been just where I have had all of my base building like supplies, so it was like the actual base in this ridiculous build, because none of this is like base stuff. Like there's no chests or storage areas or anything. It's all just like visually cool stuff. So I just was using the bottom of this tower that was ugly and I hated it forever. I had no clue how to build it to like an actual base, so I was just using it for the time being. So I moved everything out of it, and then we're building it into an actual like functioning. We're gonna make it a tower, but it's like gonna be a functioning base, similar to like the pagoda. Like, so it'll be an actual base for once. Crazy thought. And I'm just trying to figure out kind of how this whole thing works. And at this point, we're trying to do weird new things as well. We figure out how the heck this all is going to work. Same. Just can't see it because running for materials to make stuff and do quests. Yeah. Oh, that's why. Yeah. Make that work. They need that, do we? Probably not. That. I knew you'd enjoy new weird things, Ludorev. If anyone's gonna really appreciate weird new things, gotta be you. This side works a little bit better, luckily. Go. That works perfect. And this is a nice little fun detail as well now. Feels more like purposeful. I enjoy. And there's like an actual entrance. It's always a good thing. Might be messing with some of these mushrooms. I'm not really sure what I want to do with them. I like them where they are. Maybe they need to be moved around or changed. I don't hate having them, but this all works. It's kind of a waste, but I guess that is too. Whatever. Fine for now. I like this at least works, because you always run up the sides of these anyways, so now we have a way into the base, which is good. Although I'm probably going to use teleporters more than anything in this whole base, so not super critical. is, I think, gonna be what the bottom floor kind of is like some functional building stuff, teleporters. It's really figuring out now how the crafting station stuff, crafting station, ovens, all that, spinners, smoothing machine, any of that stuff, because I want it to be as functioning of a base as possible while still looking like super epic. Which is going to be an interesting design task. Very interesting. Good challenge. And then I've been also thinking through playgrounds a little bit, because I think I've seen some really cool builds since you can build off-grid in playgrounds. Kind of do whatever you want. I've been seeing some cool builds that I'm sort of interested in doing, and not doing, but making me interested in playing some playgrounds. What's up, Funny? How's it going, man? So I want to maybe start messing around with playgrounds. I just have to like come up with the idea. And unicycle, what's up, dude? So whether that's like making a legit map in playgrounds, which would be kind of cool, just sort of the build mechanics in playgrounds are pretty foreign to me at this point. I haven't messed with them at all. So I opened up playgrounds last night and was like, well, I wasn't streaming for some reason. I thought it was Monday. I was messing with playgrounds and just seeing the items and different things you can mess with. Definitely interesting. Complicated. Oof. That sounds horrible. 5 times? Ugh. My son made himself throw up on accident today. That was kind of... gagged himself out of nowhere. Shoved his fingers down his throat. I don't think he understood quite that that's what it was, and all of a sudden he just puked. Didn't do it again after that, so he learned his lesson. Watching your stream makes me want to build, but I'm so bad at it. I mean, you just got to give it time. This is 2,600 hours of gameplay, so like, I've been doing this for a really long time. And a lot of it is just like the willingness to struggle through building. Grounded's build mechanics are probably the easiest to use out of most building games. I think they're really simple and easy to understand. And the blueprints allow you to really mess with things easily. But you have to kind of just look up pictures and find ideas online is what I like to do, and then see how you can sort of apply them to a specific area. Because like I'm looking at an image right now of like what's inspiring this base. See if I've got the I mean, as you can tell, this is currently the picture I'm working off of. The pretty similar to the whole base overall. It has its own things, but you find a cool image, a cool picture, a cool base, whatever it is in any game, you can sort of translate it into your own thing. That's what inspires me to do it. It makes it a lot easier. Or so I have zero plan with building and to add stuff. I'd post my base, but it's rough. I mean, it's also why we have the Discord to post ideas and get ideas from other people. Lots of cool builds you can steal ideas from as well. And honestly, I don't typically have a plan all that much either. Like, I kind of just do things. I look at an image like that and go, okay, well, how can I proportionally make that base? So I just kind of start with a box and then slowly add details and like push and pull walls, move them around, make simple adjustments. All it is I stand back and see if I like it, and if I do, then I build it. If I don't, then I change it. Adjustments. I think a lot of people, it's just like a more of a willingness to do it wrong. Half of my, I mean, this build was a horrible tower and then some crazy tower. Then I moved all of these lines, like I made each one taller. So then I completely changed the height. Like I redo things 4 or 5 times when I'm doing it. I always kind of keep my ideas going as much as possible by like not just committing to it and saying, oh, it doesn't work. Which helps a lot. Typically your first idea is not going to be your best idea. And the plan comes together as you move things around. Mess with them. Very good. Hey. Andy that. Leggy right. And the cool details come from just experimenting, honestly. Keep messing with ideas. Moving pieces around. The quarter triangles are like the best thing in the world for making like fun details on builds. Probably my most utilized decoration piece at this point. And yeah, the wiring's like literally insane, Lugraf. It's got me my brain all messed up. But I think it'd be so cool. I would have loved to finish this base in survival and then make a playgrounds version of it, adding like greenery and stuff. So it was all legit, and then go through and add like grass and the different vegetation and stuff you can add, because you can make some really cool detail stuff in playgrounds. Which sounds so fun. I just love survival. You have to have that survival aspect, because I like that these are like functioning bases for the most part. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But I enjoy the story enough that I like redo. But it's trial and error. Any tips for the infected broodmother? Not the best at the fight myself, but if you're really struggling with it, fight a bunch of black widows, because the attack pattern's the same. There's one phase where it's a little faster. So that can help a lot. Get a fresh scimitar. I think's the best sort of, unless you're in New Game Plus, then there is other better fresh weapons. Gonna have to just fit wherever you are in the game. Makes it a slight difference. I'm assuming you're in the base game, right? That also changes like what trinkets and stuff you want to use. Wasp Queen isn't too bad until you're in New Game Plus. Then it gets maybe a little harder. Not horrible, but not super easy. Say hi and bye. I gotta sleep again. I was lurking and checking that. Nice. You're having a good night, man. Sleep well. I like the idea of this. I think of other tips as well. It's a difficult fight. A lot of it is like you're just gonna have to practice it quite a few times. Like, it takes many tries. It's not like an easy fight. You should just like, you'll just win. Definitely takes many attempts. Fresh scimitar, do you mean upgraded toenail weapon? Yes. The fresh version of the toenail scimitar. If you're in the base game. If you're in New Game Plus, then you want to use like the fresh battle axe or an infused weapon if you're that far. But I'm assuming you're not that far. And then fire ant armor is pretty good for that fight overall. The Broodmother helmet with fire ant chests and legs. You could add in one mantis piece as well for the leggings. Beefy Buzz on the Rocks is the smoothie that I like to use. Gives you extra health and the most healing. What else? Stay out of the little pond thing in the middle as much as you can. And get really good at... I think the most important part of the fight is getting really good at perfect blocking the scream she does. If you can block the scream, it takes away the healing debuff. Or you don't get the healing debuff, which is like the most difficult part of the... sorry, not the healing debuff, the damage debuff. Which I think is the most annoying part of the entire fight, is the fact... Once you get... If you don't perfect block that, you just get a huge damage debuff, and she'll just overheal from explosions. So you'll never do any damage, so you kind of have to block that if you want to do meaningful damage. But if all you have to do is get her, I mean, you're on your way. It's a difficult fight. Even on mild, it can be a pretty difficult fight when you're learning it. It's meant to be a very difficult fight too. I feel like they would, if they were doing it, the developers, I would say they probably want you to fail it like 1 out of 5 times, which feels like pretty accurate to me. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that was their mentality on that fight, because it's hard. And it's hard on purpose. A handy net's starting to lag. Does not like the snap to grid function. Ugh. Horrible. I want a set of stairs. Get in there. Stop fighting me. Java-matic. Yeah, the Java-matic's pretty easy, honestly. Especially if you have a sour weapon. If you have the sour battle axe, it's kind of a joke. Now, in the first 1 or 2 new game pluses, it is exponentially harder with the infused bugs. They make it way, way more difficult. That's right. Yeah, the sour battle axe is, until you can get better, like, infused sour weapons, it's pretty much, it's the best sour weapon in the game by far. And my brain not. Other way. Get out of here, B. Ruining my life, B. There we go. That's better. It's like, why does this hurt my brain? Would you get out of here? Punch it. I killed a bunch of widows for the sour staff, and it was basically this. It is actually pretty useful when you're on New Game Plus, because the flying bugs are very difficult. They're the most annoying part of the New Game Plus fight. The Java-matic defense. So if you get like an infused mosquito or an infused what are they called? Firefly. Couldn't think for some reason. You get one of those infused, it can make the fight impossible. I lost it so many times because of that.
Bumble off, Bumblebee!
Exactly, thank you, man. Dude is all up in our... Do it wrong again. I needed a set of stairs really bad to this area. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to build one more set of stairs. Seems like it could fit. These are on different grids too, which is how I can could have built up from, probably wouldn't very well. Widow raids become nearly impossible in the New Game Plus. If you get too many infused widows, oh, it's horrible. But yeah, you should. Not sure if you plan to even go to New Game Plus, but you definitely want to get. I think getting 100% is the way to go before you go to New Game Plus, because getting any of the achievements and stuff gets so much harder in New Game Plus. Everything's just more difficult. Exponentially more difficult. At least till you get to New Game Plus 4, then it gets a little easier. Do you like grown big again, or no, because I don't want to lose my save? It literally just resets you back to that save. So essentially what happens is you go big, you do the cutscene, you go big, it makes a save just before you go big, and then as soon as you finish the cutscene, you'll just spawn, like when you reload back into the game, you'll just be right before you press the button again. It doesn't change anything. You could do it 15 times if you wanted to, and it would have no effect on your save. Which is one really nice thing. And New Game Plus is something totally separate from that as well, so that has no effect on that. There were more curved pieces, yeah, I do too. Let's just move it. Yeah, unfortunately with the grid they made, because of its size, it doesn't really allow for much variation in the curved pieces. I wish they had bigger ones, and some of the playgrounds, like domes and stuff, would be so cool. You get any achievements? Not sure if it's like directly for going to New Game Plus, but I know there are a few New Game Plus specific ones that you have to get. Want to get all of them. I think New Game Plus is a lot of fun. It's definitely a challenge, and a grind, but it's kept my kept me playing quite a bit, so I've enjoyed the extension of gameplay, even if it's doing the same story over and over again. The fact that you get to keep everything is really nice. It's exactly what the game needed. Just more replayability. We put these. Probably just destroy. I don't have any of the New Game Plus achievements unlocked though. Using the net considered cheating? No. It is automatically unlocked in New Game Plus 1. Can change your game to custom to get it unlocked, to unlock the net if you want, which is what I had done, but now once you're in New Game Plus 1, it is automatically unlocked for you to use in any survival game. And I'm on New Game Plus 5, so I'd already have it. All it is it makes building more convenient, is all. I wouldn't say it's cheating in any way, shape, or form, though. I think it's one of the best building assets, like, of any building game. I'm a really big fan of the handy net. Really, really nice to use. Every game that has building of any kind should have the ability to use something like this, because it's so nice. The only thing is if you turn it on in a custom game, it disables your achievements. So like my achievements are disabled. Just because I unlocked it before they had added it in to the base. They added it into custom settings, and it's like, since I build and I'm making content, I'm using that. It made life so much. If anyone says it's cheating, they're a loser. And it's a single player game. Physically, it's impossible to cheat in a single player game. Like, there is no, you get to play the game. The reason there's game settings, so you can play the game the way you want to play it. The way I think of it. Whatever way is the fun way for you to play the game is how you should play it. I've turned up, because I farm, I build so much, I've turned up the respawn timing of everything. It only really affects lint and what is it? Lint and ash cement. But there are things that, like, you can't really, you don't gain anything from turning any of those settings up, really. No, like, advantage to things spawning faster, because if you did one run of them, you'd be able to build everything item-wise and weapon-wise that they use anyway, so it's not like they are really doing anything crazy. The triangles don't really do anything. I just kind of like that they make the stairs look a little bit bigger. Because in a perfect world, these wouldn't be at an angle. They'd have like that, but they stick over. So kind of funky. There's no like half stair. So I like filling them in as much as I can visually. Digging the stairs, thank you. I'm liking them, too. A little weird, they kind of die halfway in, but price you pay. I think I'm gonna do this as well. I like the look of that, but that means should be exactly the same. How did I do? Going to light them up as well, or are you going to leave it that way? I don't know. There might be a way to light this in a cool way. Technically I have columns in here, so I could just like take the columns out and do, or I might be able to do something like that. It'd be kind of cool. Light, put a light on each side. I actually kind of like that. But also like underlight the stairs maybe, and many ideas. I think I can access these stairs from underneath, so that'd be pretty easy to mess with. Yeah, Grounded has a lot of amazing things in it. They did a really good job finishing it out. Still has some issues here and there, but overall, they ended it in a pretty good spot. When Subnautica 2 comes out, are you gonna make a builds like Grounded? 100%. I love Subnautica. I fully intend on playing quite a bit of Subnautica 2 when it... I'm really excited for that. I've probably beaten Subnautica 20 times or more. One of my favorite games ever, other than Grounded. And unfortunately, I lost the save, or else I would have like a base tour of the base I built in the first Subnautica. I had a massive Shallows base built that I really, it was so cool. Finished the first 100% but gave up. I enjoyed parts of Below Zero. It's just different. I'm excited because like Below Zero was a like spin-off, essentially, is the best word I could use for it. It wasn't a sequel, it was sort of a spin-off of a game, but they meant for it to be different, and I think there were just elements of it that just didn't work. For me, all it really was is it lost the like wonder. All the areas were just too small. So I'm very happy to be playing this sort of secondary, not secondary, the sequel to it. I think that's gonna be really cool. But I've beaten Below Zero twice now. Had some fun. Not perfect, but I had some fun with it. This. Before they added the sandbox? Yeah, I didn't start playing Grounded until the 1.0 release. I heard it was supposed to be DLC, but was too big file size. I don't know how it is, though. I haven't heard anything. I have zero info. One more. You a day one guy as well? I wish. I wish I would have found this game way earlier. Honestly. So it is one. It's sort of there. Racking my brain on how this thing. Jeez. That was some lag. Was yellow tape that said "Do not enter" in the upper yard wasn't thought yet? Yeah, I've seen some of the images and stuff, so I've definitely knew what it used to look like. It's scrap mechanic. It's really fun, but I don't think it will full release ever since the devs basically. Ugh, I can't talk. Devs basically gave up. I did play scrap mechanic. It's not even the same. Like, I don't even know what it is compared to when I played it. It's I played it when they just had like the sandbox mode. There wasn't any, I don't know if you'd even call it story. It was very different. Not even close to what it is currently. It was really fun though. I built a lot of you just built random things in a sandbox mode. That was it. Message. This needs to be. How I built this. Makes this more difficult. I built this the opposite way. Hurts my brain. I think it's just one. I built this. Used to play like tons of scrap mechanic with a buddy though. Guess we could switch. Let's do it out one. I think it's gonna work either way. Friends and I always wish they would add a snake because that would be terrifying. It would be terrifying because I don't know how you kill a snake this small. Sounds like way too difficult of a fight. I think that was the whole reason they didn't do like the lizard and stuff too, is because like thematically it's just like what my little toenail sword, like what is that gonna do to us? Anything. It's very difficult to like thematically make sense, I think. Or else they would have done it. I think that's why small lands kind of feels really weird to me, as well as like you're like this little tiny thing fighting super big creatures, like it feels off. Grounded. I think I'm gonna switch base to Lego Fortnite. I played the issue I had, and I haven't played in quite a while now. With Lego Fortnite, is there was like the build limit was so small that like it forced you to stop building way too quick. Hoping that they fix that, but I played a bit with Luderav chat and just ran out of build space really fast. All out one. Favorite dragon is late. Oh. Your favorite streamer wasn't here yesterday, so thought it was Monday. Like a goober. No clue why. Perfect, but I think we'll make it work. It's fine if things are a little different from here and there. I can figure out some cool. Made a very big castle and found that it's not a build limit, it's a density limit, like how many objects in one area. Yeah, I find that any build limit or like density limit for a game it's literally Lego, like how is there a limit to the building? That's what was like, really? There should be no limit whatsoever. It came way too fast. Like there's not even close to enough ability to build. Like, it was abysmal how few things you could put in an area. To the point where like it was pointless to build. Like I wouldn't be able to build anywhere near the amount of stuff that I would want. It was pretty disappointing. I was very excited about Lego Fortnite. Till that happened. There we go. I think that is there because it's an infinitely generated world and they probably don't have a render system. Yeah. Ruined it for me, sadly. Not enough potential. Also, the whole pay to buy packs and stuff is stupid. I can't support that as well. It's so greedy. Like, I get paying for, like, stupid skins or stuff, but if, like, you literally had to buy the Lego packs, like, that's to get new materials. And I'm like, I'm not gonna spend money on new materials in a building game. Even if they changed that, the fact that that's how they started it, it was ridiculous to me. I can't stand behind it. Any microtransactions at this point are... If I stopped with Lego Fortnite, I found out about Grounded. Yeah. Way better overall. I love this game to death. What's this? Oh. Good enough. Struggle of building with multiple grids. Sometimes stuff gets a little weird. Frame rate. There shouldn't be a limit to the game gate. Hey, sometimes it says objects in way, and suddenly I can build there. It's a couple actual build mechanics in the game that you just kind of have to like experiment with. My top 10 build tips video, you check out my YouTube, goes over of like how to actually purposefully manipulate those mechanics if you're interested. A lot of it's just the way the like third person and first person cameras are set up. Where like, I don't know if you know much about video game development and stuff, but like a third person camera is like two perspectives. So it's like the Nat's perspective and the perspective I'm looking at. And so a lot of the times it's just because like it's reading, like it looks like it should be like this, but it's like reading it from a slightly different angle. Like you can tell, like I'm pointed at, like I'm picking up I'm getting the blueprint of a half wall, even though I'm looking directly at this half triangle piece. It's picking up the piece behind here. So it's like, it's a lot of it's just perspective. So by like looking at it from a different third person perspective, or even first person, like actually fixes a lot of the weird little issues that the game can have. question is, how do I... So it skips stair. But there are a few ways to like easily replicate that those things. So they're a little less frustrating. Once you learn how to like manipulate them properly. Makes the building a lot more enjoyable. Once you know like why it's being weird. It's still a bit weird, but all building games have a bit of jank to them, from my experience. Or else they're not very fun. Like, they have to have a little bit of ability to be broken. They're too rigid otherwise. Like, I enjoy Subnautica building, but at times it's too rigid for like how it works. Kind of ruins the creative process of it. But it's gorgeous, so I'm really hoping that they like double down on base building in Subnautica 1 2. Check it out. Also, have you thought of making tutorials since you are so good at building? I have some tutorial stuff. It just depends on what you mean by tutorial. A lot of what I've done is more resource gathering tutorials and stuff. I have like one speed build video. I've been meaning to make a base build tutorial for my pagoda base, but the videos takes forever. I have to have a lot of time to sit down and build. It's a very difficult build to make in one sitting while remembering how it all went together, because I built it like a year ago now. Most of my stuff's like, it's just too big. That's why I live stream as well. Most of my builds are just too big to do like tutorials per se. Like tutorials are a lot easier with smaller builds, but once they get to this scale, like there's no way to like give a tutorial of something specific, and I don't personally enjoy building small little bases. The bigger the better. But I've done little pieces, so like my Hogwarts sec. Go back. Like, I'll probably do a tutorial. I want to do it on how to build this base, but it's a really complicated base, so it's very difficult to do it. But like, I have a speed build of this that sort of shows how this thing's built piece by piece. I've done a little bit, but I'm focusing more on streaming at this point, just because YouTube videos take a ton of time to make. But sounds good, Darla, no worries. Have a great rest of your night. I'm gonna lurk for a bit. I have to grind. I lost a lot in Uncharted because I don't really have the proper hardware to run it good. Aw, man. Never fun to lose things. Been there. Alright, this works for me. It's kind of cool. Good luck getting your stuff back. Not sold on it. It's working though. We're getting there. little by little, it's coming together. This part's gonna be dang. Have a way unless I just move everything. Still some. Could make a set of stairs. Later. This. That could work. I don't hate that. Probably do that. A lot of important stuff in my bag, and I kept all of it, but everything, like stations and everything in my chest are gone. Dang. Just from like the game crashing, or how did you lose it? It's like you didn't save. All this. I'm not figuring out how this entrance is gonna work. I don't like it yet. I don't like any of these details quite yet. I don't know what I'm doing with this either. Kind of just messing with the randomness right now. I really wanted to use this technique, but unfortunately they patched the game and it doesn't work anymore. Something about the mushroom walls got all messed up in one of the last couple patches, and everything texture is slightly different than what it once was, so like you can't do this, sadly, because I think it would look really cool here. I was really excited to use that detail again. Kind of bummed. Just a new challenge to figure out. Crash and failure to save to the cloud, and it got corrupt. Yeah, if you would have gotten scammed on your computer, that's such a bummer. But I mean, I almost lost my entire grounded world at one point when my old computer started dying. Like, I thought I was just dead and I wasn't going to be able to save anything off. Now I have cloud saving off stuff, but I was horrified for a couple days. My wife would tell you the story. I was not a very happy camper. That was when I was just starting to make YouTube content, and I had just finished the Pagoda base, and I was just starting on this stuff, and I'd put so much effort into everything. And I was like, I'm gonna stream, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and ruined everything. But then really, really sad. Alright, let's get into this a little bit. Sooner this becomes a functioning base, the sooner I can put everything inside. Which sounds nice. I want to use this as soon as possible. Is there any reason, like a fourth staircase out this side? Maybe. I don't hate the idea of maybe some more symmetry between it all, but not necessary. We'll do better this time to not make this mistake and constantly go to the main menu. Yeah. I mean, that's literally, that's what it took for me to get, I mean, I have cloud saving on for grounded now. I should be saving off like a save of my world every once in a while, though. That would be smart. Just to have.
Yeah, it's hot.
But luckily, I'm pretty sure, I mean, I would lose some stuff, but I wouldn't lose everything. Like, I could go back a decent amount with just cloud saves. But a good 5-6 hour session. Be a lot of stuff lost, unfortunately. Break. Ant, you jerk. Get out of here. No. Run, you goofball. Go to your home. The only part about the dang pets. I forget I have him. And he aggroes stupid antlion. Anything. Burning, just build. Dang thing. Handy net to pick up all of that. It's a little crazy. I have to go all over the place to get all over these different areas. Why do I not burn here? Huh. Apparently I'm just high enough in the hitbox that I don't burn. Ooh. I should build more base stuff over here, apparently. I have to make like a mountain or something. Oh, it feels like it needs something in this space. Something really cool. What that will be, though. Lighting off stream. Back. Get a factory drive here shortly that will pay me a 20-hour shift, so I should be able to upgrade your PC. Nice. That will be very nice to have. Making money makes a big difference. Wife and I just redid our entire freaking budget. Trying to get on track again. Having a kid really threw things for a loop. Quite expensive. We have to readjust some of our priorities. There's no drag feature. On me. Yeah. One off. It'll work. That way no one falls to their death in the moat. It'd be a serious liability. Feel a little more finished too. Ethernet cable downstairs, so I have faster internet than 2 bytes. Yeah, that's specifically why. I mean, luckily my office. Part of the reason I picked this office was so I could set my computer up and play, and have internet. I also work from home every day, so it makes a big difference in my work speed. I can have my laptop plugged in. Ethernet. Speed's key. Evening Timber and everyone here are doing well today, definitely. Not a bad day. Not a bad. Nothing too crazy, but got some things done finally. Wasn't too busy of a day at work, which is always nice. I was gonna mess with this, but I don't hate having a huge staircase. I don't even really know what I'm doing up here, but I honestly have like zero clue of what I want to do. Also, if I'm gonna do like pallet store, we have good place. Maybe that's where this below area comes into play. Just a big storage area of some kind. Stop it here. Summer. Actually, though. This area off a bit. That doesn't. It might be fun. And I can make a lower level area. Pallets, maybe? Hope that. Think. Test it. Take a pallet. Here. Put it down there. Oh man. So much. Goodness. Place. Yeah, that reaches. Close to that. Fancy's back, let's go. How am I still registering all of those? So close. Alright, let's see if this works. That I should have plenty of room for this work. 180. Like, I have a huge read. Alright, so that should be fine. I think we're more than good. Looks sort of nice. Like that. Make this, I could make this a cool little pattern or something. Lighting or something. Maybe. Some sort of detail like that. We'll figure that out. Still trying to figure out how I want to utilize this lower level as well. Alright, so that's gonna go up. This. Chests everywhere. Stair. Something. I wish there was a single stair block. This, but half. A half one of these. So nice. Not sure how I'm gonna do this. Be interesting. Building this out though, so I can start placing things and getting the general layout figured out. Too hard to do everything in blueprints. You have to build it and mess around with it. Only way you'll know some. Sucks when you start over. So part of the thought is that I don't know if I want to have like the actual machines in here or not. Like ovens are just gonna. So it's gonna be like figuring out. I don't really want like. This probably works, but is it not quite the look I want? It isn't maybe enough. I want to run around the room to figuring out sort of how to utilize these spaces, the layout, stay close enough to be able to still utilize all the different materials, because I think like it's gonna be where this gets really difficult. I like how he actually stays in the little base now. They never used to actually go in it. Okay, so the test was we gotta come up here. Can I use pallets from here? That's has to be close enough. Or like this one's getting picked up. If all of those ones are getting picked up, this one's way closer. So if I just do pallet storage completely hidden down here, makes a really good use of this space. Way more efficient. I could probably stack like 2 layers. I do something like the benefit of sleeping if you're just building. I don't like building at night. It's just too hard to see. It. Keeps the days, keeps stuff respawning as well. Like right now I'm just building. Typically I'd be taking more breaks. I've just collected so much stuff recently that I don't like. I spent all weekend just gathering a ton of different materials. So I have an absolute insane amount of build materials. Normally I'd just be like going back and forth. Like I'd be going getting ash cement every day. Like as it respawns every time. Would be my typical routine, and so, but I also just prefer not to build at night because it's so dark at times. There are times where I like it, but there's others where I don't. Figure out how this all works. Close that. No, I wouldn't say you're missing on anything. Just my personal preference. At oh. It's kink. Works so well, but not. That works. Guess I could do that detail. Hey. Sort of go up and then down all the totally normal actually. There we go. I also like the idea, like having extra days. I don't know. Makes no difference, but it's also just like a look how many days I got in this game. Kind of a fun thing to keep track. Keep moving. So if we do that, that'll probably look pretty nice all the way up, and that already should work. Guess it's gonna be weird. Not gonna work amazing. That. I won't be able to use the angled pieces, so I'm not sure. This is a half block technically. May not be able to do that. But I want that detail because it makes it so that the shelves work better. I want these to feel like they're capturing the different pieces. So I guess that's the back anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Maybe I move these ones over and ooh, I'm gonna try to ash some. I'm using way more than I thought. I have a lot of charcoal, just none of it processed apparently. Typically, I'd also be doing stuff like this every night, so by sleeping, you expedite the crafting process a bunch, since it will skip the time that you need to, like, it skips this process, so technically it makes crafting faster. But when I'm in pure build mode like that, I kind of just, it's more about the day and night cycle, just being annoying to build in. Hard to see. The hard part is like, what am I gonna do this bottom area? I guess it's gonna be the machinery, really. I'll make this a cool crafting space for sure. And figure out how this works. Since I never realistically use crafting tables of any kind. Did I make that? Nope. That. Oh, I know what I did. Interesting. So that did move. But that's how I make that look nice. Have to. Not the end. Definitely some troubleshooting. Figuring out how the heck I want to do this. This is better. Because I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to sort of keep it as much as humanly possible. The like important crafting resources are all gonna have to be down on these this lower level if I'm to still reach the majority of this area. If this is where I'm gonna put like all of these spinners and stuff. And you can sort of lay it out like this. Grinders above. Ovens maybe middle of the room. Where the difficult decisions come in. To lay this all out, so it's be a good test for like how much distance you can put between, will they still work? That's the hard part here. Is I want this to be the coolest base possible, but it has to be like the functioning part of this entire sandbox build. So I want it to look really cool, but I also want it to be like the space where I just run into the center and start building. Like a handy net out from here and everything. Those would be like my standard area construction. I'm doing alright on bird. That. Back. Bunch of stuff I gotta mess with here on Twitches. Most people are hanging out on YouTube. I'll make sure Twitch is well. So maybe we do a door here. It's kind of no symmetry is what I'm currently wanting with this base. Question is, yeah, staircase there. This ends up being like close to the corner as possible. Some much space as possible. Put pallets out. I don't think I've seen Oozin yet tonight. At least I don't think. I guess if I did this. I think he's that. Get to the half block. Handy net FPS is one layer lower. I think we can still. I'm gonna put grass on the bottom portion of it, so I'm not really worried about having access to grass, really. Overall, I think that's a minor priority. But go back in there. As long as we have a good system, good area for these pallets, weed stems really. But I think there's going to be enough space to do this. I want it to be about 3. Right. Exactly the blocks that I do kind of like the pallet storage being almost like a basement area. Thinking of it. I think makes sense. Like it. Easily fit everything I think that I have built already. Whoa, you be sliding people's DMs just like that? Well, you're right, it isn't the same without Ooze. Tell him to get in here. Still got like an hour. Key here is going to be making it's like so I can still like get in here. That's going to be the weird part. And still need whatever sticks out. I can add some details in to hide that better. Don't know if I that doesn't work. Makes it weird to step in. That's fine. All good. This out here. Or it legs my game out. What parkour game? I feel like there's only one that I know of. Think of the name. No party unless someone's sliding into some DMs. That's arguably true. Well, we can get all these pallets moved. I think it'll be just to get what? Too deep? Why? Nothing stopped. Manually place him? Ugh. can't remember what the parkour games that I played. Brother was obsessed with it. It was always fun. Ooh, it's so difficult. Not a fan of hand placement. The sand on the backside of the maybe. I'm gonna have to go to New Game Plus 6 just to change the stupid color of this sandbox, man. It's the ugliest color. I need a hammer, so I feel like I have to go to New Game Plus 6. I don't really want to. But I really want an infused hammer. Off to Mars, let's go. I really want an infused hammer. So it's the last sort of, I think it's the last infused weapon I don't have. I feel like I need it. It's being so... Get it. Should be able to fit a lot. That's down. So it's gonna be a storage room. Who cares, right? It'd be nice to like grab them and move them around easier, but as long as we can just fit them. Like a small aisleway. Donated blood and plasma on both arms. Oof. I've given plasma one time. Luckily it didn't hurt. But I only did it once. Odd they didn't match the pattern of the half or to the fur blow, the fur? The full? I actually saw someone on the ground Discord the other day, like, why isn't this line up? They were using the what if you look at it, it doesn't line up on both sides perfectly. So if you like take this, it's just like slightly off. You can see the like seam line there, like just barely doesn't line up. Just like such a minute amount that it's like it drives me insane. So find it funny. That's the struggle of building, is I don't think they any games are like that serious about it. Like there's even annoying little things like I've seen from people building an Enshrouded that are like, why does this work and this. Some of those finer mechanics I think are pretty difficult to fine tune, especially when I don't think Grounded's original plan was to be like this ridiculous building game. We've just pushed it that way as we figured it out, and they sort of leaned into it as they went, realizing that, oh, people really like building, maybe we should just keep adding stuff here and there. Sort of what they did. Really hoping that this next floor down still reach. These grass pallets. Not that I ever use grass, so I'm probably not too worried about it, but it would make it that much cooler. It functioned really well. And this does all work out the way I'm sort of hoping. have to find a better way to enter this area. So once I restock all of this, that's gonna be the pain. It's like flying in here, so I'm really gonna have to mess with this a little bit, I think. Like, we're fitting a lot of pallets, but it's not necessarily organized, and it's like to take one piece out and go. I'm just gonna have to come back and forth. I don't know. I should have to build and destroy pallets and then move them back and forth instead of actually moving these ones. Okay. Should be able to fit quite a few. More than I've built, I think I'll ever use this many pallets. Use weed stems so rarely. Don't want a bunch of this showing. Do you dupe items like spiky burrs? No, at all. I could, but I don't. I think the only thing I've really duped is like boss items. Mostly like the ant queen stuff right now is what I've been duping, if I do anything. But it's way more efficient to collect the materials than it is to dupe most of the time, because it takes more time getting the raw science needed. And until very recently, it was like I much preferred having the raw science because I was buying telepodies, and I still need more telepodies. So I prefer typically using my raw science on all the other things that you need raw science for. Now I have like 1.7 million or something like that, so I probably could, but I've never really struggled with how much, like, with collecting materials. Now that I'm in a custom game, and as of late I have the respawn rates for lint and charcoal turned up to ×5. So I do get those a lot faster now, which is nice. That makes a big difference. I forget about duplicate the firefly. I did do some of that, yeah. I used so many of them in that temple, it was like I had to at the end. I was starting to lose my mind on that one. That'll work. Quite a few pallets, honestly. I can still get down here fairly easily, so it's good storage. I like it. I think that's gonna work pretty well. Still get in here somehow. God as well. These ones are gonna be a little better though. This will work. Yes. Definitely don't need as much space for the grass anyway. Yeah, this will work. These are holes I can fill. That makes this all lay out properly. Much better. Now it lays out exactly this. cheap. Picked up that frickin' from below the floor. I didn't realize that these stuck through like that. Only duped a couple of items to see how it works. It is more efficient farm. Yeah. There's very few items that are more like it's better to dupe. Really just boss stuff. And now like I'd rather use it to dupe like perfect toast and stuff at this. Get a bunch of that and useful items. Like they have, you can get 250 plus lint now in one run. Get every piece of it in the yard. Even if some of it like falls and you don't every piece of it. You get so much now. Charcoal's tough if you don't have those respawn. That's about the most difficult one. The only thing I'd think about is if I didn't turn up the spawn rates, charcoal would be the only thing I would like legitimately about doing. Otherwise, it's just kind of a waste to me. But now I have endless amounts pretty much, so I guess there is a way or a time that might make sense to actually start messing with duping some stuff. Lighting to make it look like a dungeon. This will be perfect though. Once this is all moved, I can go and test to make sure that I'm properly laying this out where everything's gonna still be usable. Stuff a little more. If I make a little window in an area down in these basements, that'll be nice to get in and out, because flying down these stairs with the handy net's kind of pretty. I'd ever gather this much grass. Not really a point to have this. Honestly, probably more. These also hold so much. Fill up the space more. Wait. That's fine. I can make that. I'm really never going to be using it, so it's more just a... The idea is to do it. Have it available if needed, but probably not going to be utilized very much. Also want to mess with this window idea a little bit. Not sure where or how. The hard part currently. All that out of my don't have my go up here, standing at this, build something with that. I reach all of those. Perfect. Grass for reach all of that. Perfect. This is actually like as good as it could. Quite happy with that. Space to get through. Kind of weird. I don't know if I like these all the way up. Could be a very interesting room. Essentially just want it to look like a massive library of chests. That'd be the main idea behind it. We'll figure out a lot of the design details. This may not even be the crafting area. I don't know. The crafting area might end up down here, but I want to be able to stand right in the center here and be able to reach and use everything possible. I think there's going to be some specific like bug pieces and all that that might be a little too tall, but I think for the most part we're going to be able to make it work. It's going to take some finagling and how we organize, like I'm going to have to put like lint and charcoal and all those like really needed resources that I use all the time, mushrooms, chests, all those, like those are all going to be on these like lower levels, and as we get higher and higher, I don't even know how many. I just want one chest with every item, so I have to mess with some of it. It's definitely going to be an interesting way of like figuring this out, but I think it's going to be. Just had a little thought. Trying to figure out if and how I have stairs. Could spiral up over this area. Come on now. Issue with these columns. Almost want them. They need to be 2. Bit better. Like. But could also make them the outside of this. It goes. Like. That, and then it. Two, 3, 7, 6. 1, 2, 3. Do it once, but okay. Just having that. Almost make. Here. Back go up. It ruins the video. But I need stairs of some kind. This isn't bad. Figure something out. Definitely don't want to do spiral staircases. But it's a very library thing to do. Hate spiders. Like the bane of my existence. They're so weird to. Not necessarily horrible, but it's gonna be a tough decision to make, I think, at the end of the day. We'll see. I'll rotate. Cycone was saying, this is what I literally can't see anything, and I don't like playing with my gamma so far up that at night, because then it just makes everything look horrible during the why typically I don't just build like I was doing there, where I don't like take breaks each day. Mostly just run out of ash cement so quickly. It's like literally can't stop. It's a full-time job. I always like keeping 2 of everything in a chest. I can, but I just did. Now these are gonna take 6 years. No, I had an ash summon. What are they? Didn't have a dark hole. I don't think I did. Maybe I had those all. But the idea is going to be to make a chest for every single item in the game. No matter the process it's in. And I'll just be able to hot deposit literally anything in this space, no matter what. Might have to run up some stairs or something, deposit something. In theory, it should allow me to do whatever. Wish you could make it smaller. I guess ladders would work. That's a pretty library. Lame, but also great. Idea being it's like sliding ladders. That kind of makes sense. I don't know. Thematically, that might just be the way to make this look the way I want it to. Annoying to use, but like if you want clean, open aesthetic. This is literally just for chests that I deposit stuff into. I don't really have a desire to go insane. Have to build ugly stairs just to make it function. A ladder is literally what they would use. Maybe I do some like from one level to another. Could look cool to do like some like floating stair kind of thing. To mess with it. But who knows? Maybe it goes something like crazy, some weird stairs that like kind of get a Harry Potter vibe or something going on. Like the one room that It's a crazy floating stairs. The stairs that move. I can't think of what the main hallway is called. Get on Hogwarts Legacy real quick and look it up. But there could be something to say like that could look interesting. Have their image up. This is the rough idea of this base is that though it's the Game of Thrones Maester Citadel, so it's like the place where the Maesters get trained. At least visually, that's sort of what this is. So it's just a massive open, like center, open atrium area with wall-to-wall books is what's there. But this is going to be chests, and I'm organizing it a little bit more as well. And then I'm just going to put balconies around in certain levels. So it'll be an interesting, I don't know, experiment to figure out how this is all going to work. I think it could be pretty interesting. Figure it out as we go, but I think a lot of the useful chests are going to be able to fit on this lower level. This is a lot of space. If I have the vast majority of items I use on a regular basis just in these chests, like, I should be able to fit everything useful, and then a lot of the upper chests might just be empty or have like really, really random items in them. I think a big part of this project's really just now thinking of how to lay this bottom area out so I have all my crafting thing. Need a bed somewhere. Maybe there's an upper floor, way upper floor is somewhere I can get that's like a bedroom. That could be kind of cool. It's an interesting idea. Go up. Want to make it work. Guess I could just use for the world. A lot of this is going to get covered up with how I'm planning to this roof area, but man, I'm stumped on how to get this transition because this is all sort of stepping inward. I'm going to step back outward in some way, shape, or form. Sort of like the precedent I was looking at earlier, but I have to really figure out how. You had grounded building dreams. I'd say dreams. I don't really ever dream. Really, as weird as that is, pretty rare for me. But I definitely will be like, I'll lay down to go to sleep and have an idea pop in my head out of nowhere. Definitely thinking about it all the time, though. Whole thing. Like one cross. These make sense. I'd just be able to use the smaller ones. This. I wanted to go more. It's the only. It's sort of the idea I had. This. They might be better. Need some, yeah. Hey, using that. Up. These to like others. Good. Little could do that. Gap a little. Sort of the same thing. Do a half. Leave this middle one out one. I want it to stick out. Definitely needs to meet there, so that might be the way to go. Something along these. I don't know fully yet. Fortunately, that's starting to work. Lurking in the shadows, never to see the light of day, casting a dark shadow around the dark hollow halls. Hollow halls is pretty fun. Issue sticks out so far. Doesn't here. Enough. Still haven't even finished all of the hollow halls. You left. Technically, get rid of all this junk. Gonna take some thinking. Gotta make this look nice. Not just be some weird. Can't do quite the angles I want to do. Let's take here. Not allowed. that sort of lines. It's decently well. Could move it. That. Nothing that says these have to be. Have them. Do. Double. More centered. It's not centered, but that one's centered. This sort of this. Is gonna work. That. Although there's some weird patterning and stuff here. Sort of keeps the same detail and spacing. I'm alright with. There. This. Start down. That. Definitely won't be these half place holding currently. We could think that I'd like some trial and error. Little one said. There. So this might be the way to go, honestly. Instead of that. But I don't hate that this little... It's come a little lower. Let's see what it... These all built side. See what we're working with and how we can make it look better. Almost don't even notice this change. This is a little don't like the way this double thing. Could do. It's literally like a big wall, honestly. Big wall just costs one. Also, place it your. That probably works the best. And also utilize the little curved piece to flip it once the rest of this is figured out. Use it as a nice little detail. this. It'd be really expensive, but this is all completely hidden in this one. There's a world where I could conceal that to an angled half wall. Gotta be honest, I look real. A lot of ash cement, but that's a nice little detail. Like that. I think that looks really could do it with full walls. What is that? This would be the cheaper one. Do I hate the multiple levels? Kind of like it. I like that there's a line on each. Way more expensive, but that's how I roll. Proven that many times. I'm a bit insane. Food. A lot of the basics. This would like make like another basement level. I think there's a world that move the grass down and the pallets down. Jerky room. A horrible. I don't hate that idea. Another dank cellar for jerky to dry in. Makes sense. It really does make sense. Same theory, it should work. This. Okay. Yeah, but 3, 3. Starting one. Is what it is, I guess. I can just. I'm athletic. Max is shredded from this farming at this point. This is the way that probably makes the most sense. This could go. Where things start getting a little funky, because I want different access points through these. This could be door. Actually, cannot. First, this comes. That works fine. And we just conveniently cover all this stuff. What? A bit of waste in space here. It's fine. Having this sort of a cellar entrance is going to work totally fine. Here. Probably makes perfect sense to make this the grass one. Like, never really gonna be using grass so rarely that doesn't necessarily work. To make it half wall. Just to fit properly. Wait, get in there. Great though. Having the jerky racks sort of lay out this way. Hear the bone rattling screams down the hall. Pulls up a dead, or half dead, but not alive either. For what? Are those the notes from the Hollow Halls stuff? This, those, yeah, that works. Yeah, maybe the grass all just kind of goes down in this one. Genius. Close to the wall. Side is E. It's like I planned this. Of an interesting ceiling. First person. Probably don't need. Two left. Pallets or jerky could go in. Probably don't need this many pallets anyways. But do I need that big of a space for jerky as well? Probably not either. Maybe this is the jerky area at the very bottom. Just got bored. Maybe I undo that. Maybe this is the place where jerky goes, because like you can't pull jerky from anywhere, and am I ever really making jerky? I don't. That way it might lay out a little bit better. That door. What a waste of time. Trial and error, trial and error. That's all it is. Don't mind having weed stems as an important resource. Slowly figure this out. Might head out, no worries, man. Probably gonna only be on until I finish this up anyways, so good. Catch you on the next one. Should be live again tomorrow. Unless like yesterday I just forget that it's a weekday and I stream on those. So bored last night too. Like, ugh, what should I should be doing? But it's like on my Mondays I just don't, I want that to be my one day work day of the week where I'm not streaming. I hang out with the wife, those sort of things. But the holiday got me. Bamboozled. Yeah, it is nice being able to put just a few grass pallets in here. Well, once we fill them, we never have to do one and done. Bottom layer, a little out. This starts working. Then the secret passageway starts making sense. My brain, at least. Like, I want jerky racks, but they don't really need to be. Dang it. Do this. To the wall. So it needs to be this, and it doesn't quite work double. Can't really, I guess, center. Doesn't need to be the most efficient thing in the world. Sounds good. It's on the struggle bus in his sleeping arrangements. Cheap. Might be a lay this out. It's fine. Might work. Sure, why. This. Go look at. myself. Have it built out perfect. Yeah, it does fit like that. Part. A full block apart. I wonder if that's gonna be so not gonna work. Grounded hate. Real tired of me breaking their game. Like a central. Like a double. Need to be in handy net. Ugh. Bonk my head all the time. A little late to be moving things. I'll readjust this entire to do that. Let's build this out, see if we can get it to work. See what happens. They do fit. Key is fit. Alright, this should work. This'll be. They're always a bit of a pain to get placed. Veering offline. All getting close. Question is, can I actually do two here? Maybe slightly ahead of me. That's also a little tilted. So close to working. Bummer. Could just do one. Oh. I was just hoping. Would be a really. What if? So well. Do it. I built. So close, but so far. Dang. It'd be like that, Grounded. No, you want to. Dang it. Go back in your... These. Place nice in the center. Great. Well. Works decently. At that point, I might as well just do one. Feels like the right space for this. Just a little bummed. Sit. Ton of. But I could get them to alternate like this properly. Sweet. I'd love to have this many. Just as a flex, you know. Good. About to finish up, so. It's so close, but so far. So nice. Efficiency. Make a little YouTube short if I figured this out. Doesn't quite like we are, sadly. Perfect. Guess I want to get this side placed properly. But now you're not gonna work? What's up, Dylan? How's it going? Having a good night. Well, that's pretty perfect. I can get a couple more on this side. I think I'm gonna be happy with. Second. I swear it went blue. One. Oh, there it was. Yeah, I can live with this. Still breathing, can't complain. Get a look at it. Honestly, this is quite a few. It's not as perfect, not as many as I would have liked to fit, but it worked. Enough adjusting. It could work. They're a little jank, but it works. Fills out the space pretty dang well, so I think I'm good with that. Theoretically, I could put more there if I really wanted to. Like, a skinny room. Talking like max in this. I don't hate. The dungeony area, right? It's not supposed to be like super pretty. Just meant to be storage. So the more we have down here, the more we can make. Have to go get bombardier parts, jeez. Had to do that in a really long time. Alright, I'm good with that actually. I think that'll be fun. A little jank, but at the same time, like, pretty dang efficient. Alright. I appreciate everyone hanging out. It's already 10:40, so I'm gonna call it here. I should be back tomorrow, as long as everything goes okay. Same time, same place. We will just be continuing building. We got pretty far. We got some more of the functional stuff on this base figured out tonight. We got a lot of design and details to keep adding, but functionally, this is actually starting to turn into a base that we can like start using sooner than later, which is perfect. That's kind of what I wanted to get done tonight, since I spent the whole weekend moving everything out to make it so I could get it working. Now I sort of have the idea of how to get this thing to function properly, so pretty happy with that. So I appreciate everyone hanging out. Great. I will catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.